Good day, my name is Matlala and welcome to this photo essay. Today I want to take you back to one of the most calculated and cruel laws in the South African history. A law that didn't use guns or chains, but used something far more insidious. It used education, or rather the deliberate denial of it as a weapon. The Bantu Education Act of 1953, a law that decided before a child was even born what kind of future they deserved, based on nothing more than the color of their skin. The Bantu Education Act of 1953 was a law passed by the apartheid government of South Africa. It forced black South Africans to attend separate schools that were deliberately designed to be inferior. The goal was simple and brutal: keep black children uneducated enough to feel only one role in the apartheid society, that of a laborer. But here's why the apartheid government created all of this. See, before 1953, black education was actually working. According to Fori and Swanepoel, approximately 90% of black South African schools were run by missionary organizations, and many of those schools were producing academically exceptional graduates, lawyers, teachers, writers, and leaders. The apartheid government looked at this and saw a threat. They accused mission schools of producing what they call an African elite with dangerous ideas such as equality, freedom, and dignity. What did the Bantu education actually look like for black children? The children studied in massively overcrowded classrooms, had a severe shortage of textbooks, and a deliberately inferior curriculum that limited their potential. The conditions they studied in were psychologically damaging. The schools were extremely underfunded, and the teachers were untrained. However, that was very different for white learners. White learners studied in small, well-equipped classrooms, a full academic curriculum. They had libraries, science laboratories, qualified and well-paid teachers. They had a full academic curriculum that tested their full potential, and their schools were 10 times more funded than the black schools. Here is a scenario of two learners. To make this real, let me introduce you to two South African girls born the same year in the same country under the same sky. One is Lara and the other is Larato. However, Lara wakes up every morning, walks into a warm, well-lit classroom with 24 other learners. She has her own textbook for every subject. Her teacher has a university degree and is paid a well professional salary. She studies mathematics, science, and English, preparing for university. Lara's future is wide open and good. However, Larato, she wakes up every morning and walks into a class of 79 other learners. She has a single crumbling textbook, if there is one at all. Her teacher has minimal training and earns nothing. She is not taught mathematics or science. She is taught how to be useful to the white community. Her future is to become a maid, cleaning the house of the lawyer that she could have been. Who was behind this? Who created this system? Who looked at these children, at Larato, and decided her mind was not worth investing in? It was Hendrik Verwoerd. According to Kenya, Verwoerd was a primary architect of the apartheid education system. He served as the Minister of Native Affairs before becoming Prime Minister, and it was he who personally designed and pushed the Bantu Education Act through Parliament. But black South Africans did not accept this quickly. They had a resistance. From the very beginning, black South Africans pushed back. Communities, parents, teachers organized protests, boycotts, and demonstrations against the system. According to Ndimande, schools were sometimes completely boycotted both students and teachers staying home in solidarity to show the government that they would not accept this attack. During the 16th of June, the Soweto uprising, on that day, thousands of learners in Soweto took to the street to protest against the government's decree that they be taught in Afrikaans, a language many of them didn't speak and that they associated with their oppressors. Then, in 1979, the Bantu Education was officially repealed and replaced by the Education and Training Act. But at Will's document, the repeal did not end inequality. Apartheid continued, underfunded schools continued, undertrained teachers continued. The structure that Verwoerd had built did not simply disappear. We arrive today, and yet there are still overcrowded classrooms, the shared resources, the under-equipped schools. They look familiar, don't they? Because the effects of Bantu education are still visible today. The South Africa's current curriculum, the CAPS, was introduced in 2012 to precisely break the legacy of apartheid in the Bantu education, to which places critical thinking, human rights, and social justice at its core. Thank you.